All right, so I was just having a conversation with an agent around lead generation, lead conversion, on how to grow and scale a real estate agent sales business. And I want to share those insights with you because I think there'll be some really good takeaways for a lot of you that watch videos here on the channel. Plus, I got the new Kobe, my new Kobe jersey that I've been waiting for a very long time, and I wanted to rock this too. So RIP to Kobe. Big fan. So we get into this conversation around, Brandon, what are some other ways potentially that I can scale my business and generate opportunities for myself outside of maybe direct outbound or cold calling? Because that's all you really talk about. Well, the reality is this: there are 6 ways to generate business in real estate, none of which are right or wrong, good or bad. There are pros and cons to each. And so I wanted to kind of share with you the insights that we were having, at least that I was having with this agent, that I think you watching this video might have some good takeaways from as well. So for any of you that are not familiar with the 6 lead generation strategies, there are only 6. Number 1 is an unpaid outbound approach. Number 2 is a paid outbound approach. Number 3 is your database. Number 4 are referral partners. Number 5 is an unpaid inbound lead generation approach. And then number 6 is a paid inbound approach. And so we started to talk about all these different approaches to lead generation. So we started to get into it. And I said, okay, well, if you're not gonna go with my recommendation and focus on an unpaid outbound approach first to build your foundation, because it's the most profitable and most predictable. Because I can tell you that coaching thousands and thousands of agents, and from my own personal experience, that direct outbound to the consumer is the fastest way to new business. It's the most profitable because we can get homeowner information for virtually free. It's the most predictable because I know all the conversion stats and actually hear my notes right from that conversation. And so we know how many people we need to talk to generate a lead, how many leads we have to generate to get an appointment, so on and so forth. And if you guys want, I'll make another video about that. And to which the agent was like, I know, but it's super hard and you have to grind every day. And I said, yeah, that's the downside to the approach. We talked about the upside. The downside is the most difficult. It requires the most amount of discipline, the strongest mindset, skill set, consistency. All of that has to be in place for you to have any success with this approach. So the agent was like, she's like, is there something else? Is there another strategy? I see all these people talking about all these different things. And I said, yeah, well, there's other opportunities. And it all boiled down to this. Like, we started going through all the different ways. Like, we could do some Google pay-per-click on some seller internet lead generation. We could do some Google pay-per-click on the buyer internet lead generation, where leads are coming into you and then you're making outbound phone calls to those leads that are opting in to some type of advertising. We talked about prospecting her sphere of influence. We talked about prospecting referral partners like attorneys and CPAs. We learned something that she was running away from, to which is why I'm making this video, by the way. She was trying to find the path of least resistance, rather, on creating a way to avoid the thing that was causing her the most anxiety, which is simply having conversations with people, whether she knew them or not, that would result in business. And I think that is so true for real estate agents, that somehow, some way, in their mind, I don't know how or where it comes from, that there's this magical lead generation opportunity out there that will help to avoid the thing that will move the needle the most, which is the initial conversation over the phone, that will lead then to an appointment, go to that appointment and present in a way that earns you the listing. Somehow, some way, agents think that there is something out there that they are missing that will cause them to avoid that somehow and still be successful. And I got down to this with the agent. I said, listen, it just doesn't exist. You're running away from, and you're running from one thing to the next, one thing to the next, one tactic to the next, searching for the path of least resistance to make it most comfortable for you, when regardless of the strategy, and the point of this video is this: if you take all the lead generation tactics and strategies out there in real estate, any single one of them, at the end of the day, still gonna boil down to you having a conversation with a prospect over this telephone, which you are so badly looking to avoid having conversations with people for some reason. And then it's gonna be up to your ability to have a skill set where you can set an appointment to convert that conversation into an appointment at the homeowner's home. And regardless of how you got the lead on the phone, when you get to that appointment, to have a presentation, a listing presentation that is so compelling that the person signs a contract, hires you for a 6-7% commission. So regardless of how you end up generating your leads, those two things will always be true. And so the thing I want you to think about, that I was talking to this agent about, was, listen, regardless of what you end up doing, those two things need to be what you need to focus on. You still have to have skills to have a conversation with the prospect over the phone that leads you to an appointment, and you still need a compelling presentation. You cannot run away from that. You cannot hide from that. And if you are, you're just limiting the amount of time that you are going to be in this industry, because it doesn't matter which of the lead generation strategies or tactics that you find you like the best, that make you feel the best. When it comes down to it, if you're doing direct mail, phone calls, internet leads, farming, networking, at some point, you're gonna have a conversation with a prospect over the telephone, and what you say, how you say it, how you present yourself in whatever way that you do will determine if the prospect invites you over to interview to take the listing or not. And then number two, once you get to that appointment, based on your compelling presentation or the lack of, will determine whether you win the listing or not. So the point is this, that regardless of how you are generating leads, that you still focus on those two things: your ability to communicate over the telephone and your ability to give a compelling listing presentation. Your sales skills, it doesn't matter. And so let that be your priority leaving this video today, is that no longer is it a debate about, oh, social media is the best and cold calling is the best, or internet leads are the best, or door knocking, or open. Doesn't matter. Put that aside. Like, we can agree to disagree on what is the best tactics or strategies, only that I think we would all agree that once you're at the home and it's your time to shine and it's your time to deliver a message in a way that will result in a homeowner hiring you or not, that how you ended up in that seat wouldn't matter. That I think we all can agree on, and that when you are there, that presentation is the most compelling. So I made a video right here. You can see my live listing presentation that has worked so well for me. Check it out and let me know your thoughts.